Trader, this is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. We'll take a look here at the old indexes. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the EIA report for natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin daily and your weekly chart. Now, before we get started here, you can see how this market is pretty well flat. The Dow's down like 44, the S&P is down like a buck, and the Nasdaq's down 13. So we got this kind of like a slow season going on right here now, but we've got to see how this is going to shake out here. But again, there's always opportunity. NVIDIA was a good one today. Meta was a good one there today. Palantir was a good one. Tesla was a good one. So if you're not trading what you see there, just find something else that might be a little bit better for you. Okay, now here we have the Bitcoin. Now you can see here we're stuck right here between 20. Let me big that up a little bit for you. Okay, now you're talking. There you go. Okay, so you have the 21 day. You notice how strong that 21 day is, like I've been pointing out. See right here, we had that tweezer top. Yeah, it did a pop through, but it couldn't close through. Right here, right into it again, and then right here, now we're right back into the situation again. So bottom line here on the upside here, we got to get back above 94,501. That's going to be very, very critical. If we do it, here's your next upside target is 96,145. Okay, and we just follow it up. Your next target, 97,905. And we'll come to the bottom there at 100, 530 level. And then what we can do is we can come over here to the top of that candle. We got 100, 495. We'll come up here. We got 101, 20 level. Then we'll come to the bottom of that candle at 102, 610. But this is what we're really looking for, is that 200 day at 103, 709. We get above that. Obviously, we have the 50 day, we have the 100 day, and so on. But again, the 21 day is going to be very, very strong. So right now, we're still in this downtrend. Okay, you got to crack above that 21 day here to break that downtrend and head towards that 200 day. Now, here on the downside, we're watching yesterday's low. That's going to be your support, 91,405. Then we'll go down to today's low. You're looking at 91,165. Then we have that 8 day sitting right there at 93,16 level. Okay, so that's going to be your targets. Now, again, obviously, if we lose that, then we're going to come to the top there, 89,240 level. Okay, we got 88,770 level. We'll come to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 86,500. And then we can come right here. You're looking at 86,135. We have 85,200. And then we come down here, 84,120. And then 87,50 is your target. So bottom line here, these are all your support levels here. And this here will be all your resistance levels. But your big targets, you crack that 21 day, you're going to go right up to that 200 day is what we're looking at. Okay, we lose this 8 day, we could fall right down to the bottom of this candle, or we could even retest that 870 level. All right, so what you got to do is you got to just trade this market, and that's exactly what it is. But it's really like a whole lot of nothing kind of a situation. Okay, so that's why you always want to look at it. Now there was I had an okay trade there in BITX. Got as low as 31.32, high as 33 flat. But I got, one good point out of it there today, which is, can't complain with that. Okay. So bottom line here, watch that 21 day, watch that 8 day. Now, when the futures open at 6 o'clock, we want to always watch that candle. 94,440 your high, 91,165 is your low. And then I say if it breaks down, we watch the 8 day. It breaks up, we watch the 21 day kind of a situation. Now, you're only sitting here at 43. That's not overbought, oversold. We have the green that's over your red. That shows good momentum. We have an uptrending situation, and we have good support at the 8 day. Now, you can see how the 8 day is curling up, but you got to keep getting, got to curl up. It has to cross over that 21 day. Then that'd be a bullish mark here. Just like when it crossed below that 21 day, that was a bearish signal. Okay. Now here on the weekly chart, well, let's just take a little peek ski here. We're still holding that 100 day, which is always very good, and we still are holding this uptrend situation. So as long as we're holding that 84,438, that's going to be key. If not, you can come all the way down to that 87.50 level. But let's just see what happens by Friday. Consider this is a weekly chart. Now you can see on the upside, see how that 8 day crossover, 21 day crossover to 50 day. That's going to become very, very strong resistance. Now again, if it comes down here, doesn't mean it can't curl way back up here just like it did there and there. Again, but we got to have some kind of a catalyst in order for it to do that. You got to have something where this is going to rocket up on some kind of a news or some kind of a situation. Now, 40, not that overbought, that's not oversold. The green is below your red here, but you got to give us all a little bit of patience here. But as long as we're holding that 100 day on a weekly basis by Friday, this is still uptrend, is still very, very much intact. Okay, take a look here now at Ethereum. Okay, here we have Ethereum. Now you can see here where we had this nice big pop upside kind of a situation. So right now we're kind of holding that 21 day at 31.36. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, so that's why I pointed out that we have to hold that, and then your next key level is going to be that 200 day at 30.79. Now we lose that. Here's your next target on downside. 30.12. But you can see how the 8-day is curling up here very, very nicely. And then we're holding the 21-day to 200-day and the 8-day here so far. Now, we lose that key 8-day simple moving average, then we can come down to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 28.89. We'll come down to the bottom here. You're looking at 28.55. And then we just keep working it down, 27.64. We have 27.28, and your retest down here, 26.27. We lose that. You're going to come right over here to the 200-day on the weekly. You're looking at 24.60. Okay. Now, when you look at this weekly chart, you can see here how you have, look at old sticky here, okay, all the way to the bottom. But we're holding so far the 100-day and that 50-day. That's going to be very, very key, okay? But we have to see what happens by tomorrow. But again, just like Bitcoin, that 8-day crossed over, and that's going to become very, very strong resistance. Now, again, it can curl right back up, but you got to have some kind of a catalyst in order to do that. Now, here on the upside, well, we're going to be watching yesterday's high, 31.78. We'll watch today's high at 32.52 level, okay? Then we come right over top of this candle at that 32.70. That was your resistant level, okay? So you can see where it didn't quite got right to it, but not really, okay? Then we look at the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 33.76. Venture right on up here at 34.12 level, and then we come down here at 35.14. Then we just start racking these up here, 35.71 level. Then we come all the way to the top of there at 35.96 level. But realistically, we're looking for that 50-day. Okay, so if this can rally up here, as long as it can hold that 21-day, got a good shot at this consolidation, hitting up here and taking that 50 SMA. Downside, just watch that 21-day. Very, very key. Watch that 200-day. Very, very key. Okay, and then we have that 8-day. Okay, so those are all your key levels. We lose it, we could definitely retest that 26.27. Now, 45, that's not overbought, that's not oversold. The green is over your red, shows momentum to the upside. So right now here, you just got to have patience with what you got here. The same way with the Bitcoin. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold and silver. I had no trades in these today. I only trade on the long side, okay? So there was a short possible on the silver, but I just trade on the long side, GLD and then SLV, okay? So right now here, what we're still holding this 8-day at that 42.16. We start losing that, then we'll come right down the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 41.74. We'll come down here at 42.63. We'll come down there, 41.43. And then we're really looking for that 41.31. That's your 200 SMA. Right below that, we have the 50-day, 40.75. Now, we start losing that candle, then we'll come down here, 40.36. We come down here, 40.18. Come down to the bottom there at 39.97, and then we'll be looking for 39.35. And then we have a big retest down here at 39.01. But right now, we're holding all the simple moving averages, which is very, very good. The cup and handle is still very, very much in play. The key is you got to close not only above this 42.50 level, but we have to get above that price channel, 42.99, which is basically just the top of that candle. We do that, then we come march it right on up here, 43.46, and then we come up here to that 43.98. You crack that, you go into that 4,500. But right now here, we just have this sideways action. But you can notice how it's still a very, very nice uptrend situation. This could come all the way down to that 50-day, and that uptrend is still very, very much intact. Okay, 62. That's not overbought or oversold. The green is over your red, showing you a good momentum. But again, there wasn't really no action in this today. However, you're still holding that 8-day, you're still holding the 21-day, and you're still holding that 50 SMA. Okay, now, as you can see here, looking for that, I was pointing out that 60 flat number. Okay, so when you say 60 flat, the reason I always say that is going to 60. A lot of times, I said 90% of the time, it never really goes to that 60. What it does is it goes up close like it did here, 59.65 or 59.80 or 59.90. And then that 60 is the breakout. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for here on the SLV, a close above that 60 mark. Then I know that's going to go to 61, 62 and rally right up, maybe again 65 and on up here, okay? But right now we got as high as that 59.65. And now you can see where today we had that red candle and we took out a couple days, okay? So we're looking for on the downside, we look at today's low, 56.85. Then we're looking right there at 55.96. We'll come up here, 54.41. We'll come over here, 53.76. And then we'll be looking right down here for your 52.41 if it keeps right on getting hammered, okay? Now, you got the 8-day up here, the 21-day, the 50-day. Everything is rolling here pretty good. It's still in a basically uptrend, but you notice when it gets outside these price channels, usually it goes for a day or two, and that's exactly what it did. Sometimes 3, whatever, just like we did here. But then eventually it wants to come in towards that 8-day. So bottom line, this is basically just consolidation and let that 8-day catch up. maybe a good buying opportunity. Now, again, if it holds that 8-day, I would also jump in there, if it holds on a closing basis and take the SLV and at least take it back to that 55, 59, 65 level, and then maybe you could break out from there, okay? But again, just patience is very, very key on this. So just watch that, not just this level, but watch that 60 flat. That is going to be the key. You close above it, then you're going to be going higher, okay? Right here, overbought condition, but it can stay overbought. Right here, that overbought, you can see how rolling over here, very good. And then here, we're pretty much here. The green is over your red, shows good momentum, but, you're sitting here at the top end of the old chart. So again, maybe we just kind of ran its course for a little while here. Maybe have a little consolidation action like we're doing here with the gold. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old crude oil. Here we have crude oil, daily, weekly chart. Okay, now same old shit. Okay, right there, boom, 50-day. All right, I've been pointing this out for long. I'm boring myself with this already, okay? See, popped up, couldn't get through. Couldn't get through, couldn't get through, couldn't get through, and then here we are again. Where to go today? Right into the 50-day, okay? And then it pulled right on back. So now, bottom line, we're above that 21-day. So this is going to be your support level, 59.26. Next in line, 58.86. That is your 8-day, okay? Then we'll come down here to the bottom. You're looking at 58.37. We have 58.28. We'll come down here at 57.66 and retest 57.10, okay? Just that simple. Upside, you got to close above that 50-day. Okay? It's just that simple. If you can, your next target is sitting right here, right in front of you, 61.28. That's your next target, okay? We get above that level, then we're going to come right up here, okay? At 60.51. We get above that, you're going to come right there at that 62.59. Okay, but we have the 100-day here at 62.26. The 200-day, we have the top of this candle, 65.40, and then we have 66.42. But right now, you got to get through that 50-day. That's it. We have a downtrending situation. The only thing that's going to change that is a close above that 50-day. Then we can take this thing higher. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So when you're trading this, when this futures back open, watch today's candle, 60.02 on the high, 58.81 there on the low. And then if you crack above it, watch that 50-day. You have to get above that in order to get to the next level. Downside, just watch the 21-day, watch that 8-day. We lose that, 57.10, that's going to be your big target. Now, 50, this is not overbought, oversold. The green clicked over your red, shows go a momentum. It just can't, it's having a hell of a time. We're going to need some kind of a catalyst to take this higher. Maybe a possible war or something. I don't know. But Venezuela or somebody like that, then it could go higher. Okay, but right now, this is just a trader's market. So, okay, so basically what I did is I scalped the UCO there today. It was a good trade. It got as low as 2018 and got as high as 2082. I got 40 cents out of it there today, so I was happy with that. I'm trading 5,000 shares. So, for what this is, that's not bad for what this is, okay? There's just like a big nothing burger going on right here, right now, until you close above that 50-day or until you close below that 8-day. All right, here's the weekly chart. Now you can see here, weekly chart, downtrending. See, high, lower high, lower high. I don't have to tell you, it's all the way on down. Okay, now we're above this 8-day, which is always good. Okay, that 59.43. But next thing in line here, if we get above here, if we get above that 61.21, you're going to come right into this 21-day. That's going to be very, very strong resistance on a weekly basis. You get above that, you can go up to that 65 level. But you really have to get all the way, really realistically, all the way up here to change this downtrend, because right now this thing is just still downtrending situation. Okay, so we have a double bottom situation here, that 55.95 level, 55.12. We have a nice good double situation, but we just can't get off the Schneid here to go any higher. Okay, let's take a look now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. And actually, natural gas was a very, very good trade today, okay? I was kind of surprised. Now, the EIA report came out 10:30, and that's starting to be a really good market mover here for about the last 2 months, okay? They're expecting a draw of 18 billion cubic feet. It came in a draw of 12 billion cubic feet. And you can see here, okay, let me just see here. See how it just came right on down? But you held yesterday's low. Okay, so UNG for me, it got as low as 1507. I didn't get in on that, and it got as high as 1574. But again, I got 40 cents out of the UNG today. Okay, so I got a little bit late because I was just kind of waiting to make sure that we didn't go lower than that and head towards that 8-day. So I got in a little bit late there, but I still got 40 cents out of the UNG, trading 5,000 shares. So that's good with the natural gas. Between that and the crude, it was a good day trading in those two, just in those two commodities, not including everything else that I'm doing over here. So that was some really good trading. So a lot of times, watch that EIR report on Thursday, 10:30. It just fell right off. He said they were expecting it, came in low, and then it just doesn't want to give up the ghost. It wants to go higher. But this is what I'm talking about when you hit that 5 mark. Okay, right here you had 498, and it came right down. The next day we had a hit at 503, but you notice that it closed at 501, above that 5 mark. Now it could just going to be rallying up here. Your next target is, like I'm pointing out here, is going to be right here. Okay, that's your next target. It's 536. That's where it's going to be going. That is going to be your next target here on the upside. Now, again, it's going to probably do like here, just like a big melt-up situation, okay, consolidation, melt-up situation, consolidation, but that is going to be your next target right there at that 536. Okay, now we start getting above that, we can come down here at 561. We'll come down there at 572 level. Then we can come over here. We have a 622. Then we can venture all the way back up here to that 627 level. And then we can come over to the top side at 654. And then we just take one level at a time, 710. We have 742. And then we're going to have that 760. Now, the 760 is going to be very, very important for the simple reason that when it sold off, that was the high. Okay, so as that high got, we put a topping tail in, then she sold off from there. So if this rallies up here, always watch that 760 level. That's going to be very, very critical. Then we have to see what the reaction is. Does it go higher and aim for that 10 area, or is that where it ends right there? But just take one level at a time. Next level we're going to look at is 536. So I'm long the UNG, and I'm also trading the UNG. Okay, I've been long here for all the way from down here. Okay, then I added to the position again here, but then I traded also. Okay, so that's the key is, so basically I have, like a double trade going on kind of a situation. Now, I'm not shorting anything in the natural gas, but I am shorting stuff like shorting and long in the crude oil, because right now that just stuck in a downtrend situation where this is in a nice uptrend situation. Okay, so on the downside here, what you want to watch then is watch that 503. We want to watch that 5 mark, okay? And then we want to watch all the way down here. We want to watch that 487. And then we want to watch that 478. That's going to be very, very key. We lose that, we have the 21-day. Now, as long as this price is above that 8-day, it's going to be sideways to up action. When it gets below that 8-day, sideways to down action, okay? Just like that. So that's what we want to look at. So right now, this is still a trade that's in play that can go higher kind of situation. Now, when we look at the weekly, look how many nice days, but it's just like a melt up every week, okay? But now this is the time of the year, cold weather. It's like 18 degrees where I am. The snow, the ski resorts are just digging it. I mean, I think I think they reported 18 inches of base already, or 20 inches of base there already. Plus, they're making the snow. So that was quick. That was like within a week or a week and a half here. So they're kicking it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a nice, good long season for the old skiing action. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. All right, here we have the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ. Okay, now same thing, came right on down, held the 100-day, and now we're rallying up. Now you can see how that 8-day is moving up nicely. That's going to be your key support, 47,396. Next level is going to be the 21-day. Next level is going to be the 50-day, and then we come down, retest the 100-day. Okay, now right now you can see how we just have like an indecision candle, popped up a little higher. We got as high as a 48.49. What we're looking for is right to the left of the chart here, 48.40. Okay, so it came in within 9. Look how nice it is, but you notice that it couldn't hold it. That's the key, not the pop up, but it couldn't hold it. Next level, keep on rising, 48,233, and then 48,431. You crack that, you probably hit towards that 49,000 mark. But right now, we just have the 1 day that was kind of like a down situation. Now, 58 got plenty of room to run. Green over red, plenty of room to run here. So this is not over. This is not over. This is just 1 day. Same thing we have here, okay? So we made a nice high today. We got as high as that right there, that 68.69 level, okay? That's what we had today. 68.66 level. This is what we're looking for right there, 68.69. So you came in very, very close. So everything you need to know is right to the left of the chart. We get above that, you're going to come right to this level right here at 68.82 level. Then we retest that 69.20, okay? So one level at a time, that's how you trade. Now, key support level, just look at that 8-day right there, 68.09, okay? Look at the 21-day, the yellow all lit up, okay? The 50-day all lit up. We lose that, we have the 100-day, and then we have the retest down here at 65.21. Right here, 58, plenty of room to run, green over red, momentum to the upside. Matter of time, and if you look at this chart right here, you look at this chart, see this? Left shoulders, head, right shoulders. possible inverse head and shoulders pattern. Same way here. Left shoulders, head, right shoulder, possible inverse head and shoulders pattern. Same thing that's going on the old NASDAQ, okay? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, possible, that's good, inverse head and shoulders pattern. This could take it much higher. Now, today we got as high as that 23,528. What we're looking for right there is 23,526, made a little bit higher. This is the key level right here at 23,564, okay? Next level, we're going to come right to the top there, 23,636. There's your gap. Then we look to the bottom there. There's your fill at 23,764, and then we have a retest at 24. But again, this is just, look at, there's your support level right there at that 8-day, okay? There's the next support level is your 21-day. Next support level, the greenie, is going to be a 50-day, and then we can have your 100-day, and then we can have the retest. But right now, this is just 1 day, okay? This looks like it just wants to go higher kind of a situation, okay? Same way with this, 57, plenty of room to run, green over your red. I don't know. I think we're still going to get that Santa Claus rally. Might not make new highs, but I think we come really pretty close maybe to even retesting what we originally have. Alrighty, that's what I got for you. Tomorrow will be TGIF. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.